here we are, but we do have a champion, and a game we had, and it started out to be an epic one because Tyrese Haliburton came in and was on fire right out the gate. 3 threes, right, boom, boom, boom. And then the injury. We will get to all things injury related. Huge congratulations to the OKC Thunder, their first championship as the OKC Thunder. SGA wins Finals MVP. Your total there, 103.91. SGA had 29. Holmgren had 18. Jalen Williams had 20. Haliburton did have those 9 points in the 7 minutes that he did get to play until the Achilles situation. 7 games, man. We got 7 games out of this, Lou, and OKC ran through the regular season, making it almost look easy at times. They got through the postseason, had some pretty tough challenges along the way, Denver, and then of course this series as well. But at the end of it all, the best team won. What'd you think?
We got 7 great games out of it. And shout out to the NBA, shout out to the fans. I hope everybody was appreciative of what we did get. We had great basketball this year from top to bottom. We had storylines, we had trades, we had Luka midseason going to. We had so many different things to be excited about as NBA fans for this season, and for OKC to cap it off with the season that they've had, historic run. They made history. SGA doing the full Monty, getting every single award there is out there that he qualified for, from MVP, Finals MVP. He's a champion. We saw a young superstar be born. We've even seen a dynasty be created at the same time. Indiana surprised us with the year that they had. It was so many different things that we can talk about as far as the season goes. But just the finals alone, we got 7 great games, man, from 2 great fan bases. Couldn't have asked for a different one. You know, obviously when it started, everybody's like, small markets, we're not really excited about this. But if you watch this series and you watched all 7 of these games, you got your money's worth. You were entertained. I don't remember the last time I've watched an NBA countdown show of any sort, not just Stephen A and those guys, but of any sort, an hour before a game. I was so excited to watch Game 7 yesterday. I watched the entire NBA countdown show.
Are you okay?
I was so excited. This was because, again, you having these conversations with your friends and family. Who's going to win? What do you think? And I said, I have no expert opinion at this point. The best team, the better team is going to win. Whoever plays a better 48 minutes is going to win. I don't have any opinions. And so this was the one game that I was able to watch strictly as a fan, and I got my money's worth. Obviously, you hate to see a guy like Tyrese Haliburton go down with the injury that he did. That's going to cost him a setback, and that's going to be some time. So wishing him a speedy recovery and good health. But you give a man credit and you tilt your hat to somebody that gave himself an opportunity to go out there and try to win an NBA championship on a bad calf, knowing the risk, knowing everything that was at stake. And for him to go out there and try to give the effort that he did and how he started that game, it looked like it was going to be a long night for OKC, but you hate to see a guy go down. But other than that, great basketball, great 7 games worth.
It was, yeah, I look, the Tyrese Haliburton injury, it's literally nobody wanted that. Nobody wanted to see that. No, I don't think the fans in OKC wanted to see that. You could tell by the way the room just silenced. SGA runs over because it was shaping up to be an epic Game 7, and it looked like Haliburton was about to, cement himself some Game 7 finals legendary status, win or lose. Like, he came out so hot that you're like, oh, are we about to see one of those types of performances? And then, not to even get ahead of ourselves, but then the immediate reaction of, okay, yeah, you lose him for a game, then you automatically start thinking what the Achilles means, and then you lose him for next season. And we've now seen that with Dame Lillard. We've seen it with Jason Tatum. It's awful. I wanted the OKC Thunder, if you're going to win this thing, which they did, you want it to be clean, right? Like, you wanted everyone to get, like they probably maybe would have won regardless. Nobody will ever know. But the thing is, and nobody cares today because they are all drunk on happiness and whatever beautiful liquids were flowing all through the night. The town will probably
plenty
not
of champagne, I'm sure.
Totally. Like, I think I saw Jalen Williams
and probably some harder spirits as well, I'm sure.
such a young, wholesome group of dudes. Like, I don't. What do they drink? It's like very low alcohol.
Listen, I'm pretty sure for the guys that don't indulge, if there is a time for you to do your thing. Last night was the night, man. And so
Ooh.
I was just looking like, man, such a beautiful feeling for these guys to feel. Don't take it for granted. I was in the NBA 17 years, never had an opportunity to be on that high, and so I always get goosebumps and chills when I see guys be able to fulfill that dream. That starts in your driveway when you're doing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're making the game winning shot. Like that goes back to your 5, 6 years old. And so, when you see guys that you're personally connected to, and you know you've shared some blood, sweat, and tears with those guys, and to be able to see them accomplish those things, it's a great feeling. And to your point about a clean game, you're right. Like I hated that that injury happened because we got good, clean basketball out of it. Two hard fought teams, two teams that put it on the line, that tried to do everything in both of their powers to bring a championship, to their fan bases and back to their cities. We didn't have a lot of drama in this series, right? We didn't have
Mm-mm.
a lot of nonsense to really talk about. We got some hard fouls here and there, but there wasn't a lot of talk about anything going on outside of the basketball court. That's what I loved about this series. Both teams were focused. We got great coaching. We had a young coach
Yep.
versus a veteran coach. Guys making adjustments on the fly, and you can visibly see the adjustments being made on both coaching staffs, and it was just great. And Holly going down, and knowing that he's going to be out for next season, you hate to see that. That kind of took the air out of the room. But it was just tremendous basketball.
I have, I listen to a lot of radio. I just drove 19 hours back here from Los Angeles, so NBA radio was on a lot.
Why,
I
Beadle?
feel like I know, well, I could be a trucker, and you always need a backup plan. But I feel like I have gotten to know these guys. Some of them are kids, through their sort of all these. As much as I hate the schedule of the finals, every day you got to have a media day before every single game. It's like a weird 7 times Super Bowl in the course of 3 weeks, but. Jalen Williams for me, and we know SGA and the fact that he pulled the full Monty, as you just said, the full Monty. But Jalen Williams, when you listen to him speak, first of all, he's just like this wise
He's so
soul.
soft spoken. Yeah.
So soft spoken, but also just he's very thoughtful in his answers. Like he's not just up there spewing sports cliches. He's not kind of just giving you what everybody else gives you. It is like he's genuinely listening to the questions, processing them, answering them, and has grown as one of like my favorites throughout the course of this finals just because of the way he sort of carries himself. And now the fact that he is a champion in his third year. He's touted as now, finally, after this finals, I think a lot of people have sort of been convinced as the best number two, if not on a very short list of best number twos in the league right now. Like the growth of Jalen Williams in this for you, what have you seen?
He grew up in front of our eyes. We watched this whole team and organization grow up in front of our eyes. Do you remember me saying mid-season, it's time for us to take the training wheels off this team? Like, let's
Yeah.
stop making excuses for them. Let's stop saying that they're young. Let's stop saying all of that, because they are real and they are a legit contender to win this title. We were saying that months and months ago. And that starts and it finishes with their big three with SGA, Jalen, and also Chet. But Jalen alone, you just saw it. The moment wasn't too big for him. Even the
Mm-mm.
games that he didn't have the stat lines that he wanted, he still was forcing the action. He still was trying to get in positions where he could be successful, where he can use his size to be dominant, constantly attacking the rim, constantly using the mid-range. And even when his offense wasn't working, he took it out on you on the defensive end. So when you see a guy take stride after stride, step after step, game after game, you can't help but root for these guys. Like, if you didn't root for OKC in the same manner that you rooted for Indiana, like both teams had you rooting for both teams. If you weren't strictly an Indiana Pacers fan, you had to root for both teams. If you weren't just an OKC fan, you had to root for both teams. And what you just said, the maturation of these guys and how well spoken they were, how thoughtful and intentional they were with their answers and what they were trying to accomplish. To be so young, to be so mature at the same time, you got to love what OKC is. And the thing about it is they ain't going nowhere. We're going to have to deal with
No.
these guys for years and years to come. They are set up for success for a number of years to come. And so these guys are only going to get better and better. They're only going to get more and more mature. And his team is going to gel. I don't know how scary this can be with them being so early in this process, winning the championship, and still having that whole group being able to come back. We're going to have to deal with this team for years to come, and we're only going to see Jalen Williams get better and better.
No, the bar's set. The bar's sitting in Oklahoma City now. The rest of the league is going to have to take notice. Just for those of you who have not kept up on the SGA year that he's had, I mean, some people have had good years. SGA's had a hell of a great year. So he's got a regular season MVP and a ring. First player to do that since Steph Curry did it in 2015. However, he trumped Steph Curry because he did not win Finals MVP that year. We remember that.
Wow.
And so I'm wondering, look, I know you hate this, but you have to understand, Lou, for people my age and up, we need comparisons.
I'm looking at the caption right here. Come on, man.
I know. There you go. Make it make sense. Like, when we say what SGA just accomplished, what does that mean to those of us who maybe don't watch the NBA? And I'm talking about everybody else, obviously. I've been watching, but like, what does it mean? How good is he really?
Man, dreams come true. And I'll keep saying it every time I have a microphone in front of me. This is no surprise to me. I watched this young dude grow in front of my eyes. I was saddened when he got traded because I knew what his potential was. I enjoyed being his teammate. I enjoyed sharing the court with him. He was just one of those type of guys that, you know, every once in a while that comes along, you know, they're different and they're special. So for him to have the season to back that up, to cap this off, I couldn't be happier for a guy. I couldn't be more proud of somebody. This is my rook. This is somebody who once did favors and chores for me and our team as a collective when he was a Clipper for that one season, man. And so just to see what he's accomplished this year and how he dealt with it, how he's handled it. You know, we talk about another young guy that's so mature and shown so much maturity throughout the course of this season, man. And seeing him do all of this, it was like I wasn't emotional last night, but I was like, damn, man, that's my little brother, man. That's my little guy. And to see him grow, like AI used to say this to me. AI used to say, man, when you were with me, you were a puppy. And now I'm looking at you, you're a Great Dane. AI says that to me every single time he sees me. And I can't help but feel that same sentiment towards SGA. Like, man, when you came to me, you were a puppy. And now looking at you 5 years later, you're a fully grown man with a family, and you are a Great Dane. And now you're a champion, you're an MVP and a Finals MVP. And buckle up, because now you are part of the show. You are one of the faces of this league. And for years to come, we were having this conversation and debate about Tyrese Haliburton being a superstar. We never debated that about SGA. And he's earned all of the respect. He's earned all of the accolades that's coming his way, the energy and the effort that these fans are going to put forth to make sure that he feels celebrated. And these next few weeks, I hope he takes a moment and to take a deep breath and he enjoys it all that's coming his way.
I mean, the commercial popped out. Like, they hadn't even handed the trophies out yesterday. They go to the first break.
And shout out to Converse for because usually that's a Nike commercial, you know? Usually
that was quick.
Nike has a guy. They spent the cheese. So shout out to Converse, you know. Long way from when I was signed to Converse back in the day. Long way.
You know what, Lou? I'm going to take with me for the rest of the summer. It's not true, but it's what I'm going to take with me. In my mind, AI thinks that all puppies grow up to be Great Danes. And that for me will bring me joy and pleasure for the rest of my life. Because he's right. There's not the same pop with, and now you're a golden retriever. Like, it doesn't sound very cool if you say the full blown thing. It's there. Look, you mentioned it. The fact that this team's going to be like this at least for the next few years. And I'm wondering, you know, Chet Holmgren of the big three that we talk about probably showed the bigger peaks and valleys, a lot of valleys, I think, especially in this series. He wasn't quite as successful, perhaps, in some of the stats and some of his performances, maybe the other two guys seem to be, which means there's a lot of room for improvement, which is scary. All that to ask, is there a world in which we could see 3 All-Stars on this team?
We might get to 4 if they continue to play this way. We've seen it before, right? Like, if they were on the run that the